Montana, big sky country. Protecting this rugged wilderness is a brave group of men and women. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of the last best place. In Montana's Region 4, State Game Warden Brian Goley takes a tip call.
124, that's what we figured.
A trucker called in to report a pile of dead deer alongside the highway.
I'll let you know.
Warden Goley heads toward the site.
7 deer in the ditch. Yeah. That's 123. So we can start looking, I guess. Now, if a trucker, he sits way higher. So we might have to be careful. We might miss him. But I mean, 3 deer is not hard to miss. Or 7. So I'm assuming. Oh, look at. Oh, I thought that was blood. I'm like, well, maybe they did hit him. I just wonder about this call.
Suddenly, the warden spots an eagle and then carcasses.
Oh boy. Oh boy, this is not good.
67.
Well, it's just interesting to see what this is going to be. Because it's every different kind of deer you'd think of. Oh, look real quick. It's got some old stuff, too.
The warden worries he might have a major poaching case.
Yeah, the legs are all broke.
Over on the other side of the region, Warden Quinn Kuka responds to another potential case.
There's a deer dumped in this dumpster that apparently not all the meat has been taken. It's fairly fresh, and suspects possibly could be one of these homes. So we're gonna check out the deer first.
A resident reported finding the deer less than an hour ago.
2 hindquarters or front quarters, a hind quarter. There is nothing taken off this animal. It's definitely wasted. It looks old, it's not fresh. Looks like a little 3x3. So we're gonna go knock on the door of some people we think have something to do with it and just see what they say. Okay, I don't think anything's taken off that animal. I'm just gonna pull around front and we'll go knock on some doors. The dumpster's pretty empty, so it just recently got dumped. I didn't see a tag on it at all. It'd be good to know what his name is in case he got a duplicate, but he'd keep both of them if he did. So, let's just do some talking.
Warden Kuka heads to the house in front of the dumpster.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm State Game Warden Quinn Kuka. I was just wondering if you could tell me about the deer that's in the dumpster out back.
Out back there?
Nope, back that way.
Okay. My boyfriend got an antelope archery season a few months ago, and then he just got one.
Little deer?
Years ago.
An antelope and a deer, or an antelope?
Yeah, he got an antelope and a 4x4.
Okay. Not that big a deal. Is he home?
No.
Okay. Did he put it in the dumpster?
No. It's hanging at his buddy's house.
Okay. Do you know anything about the one in the dumpster?
I have no idea.
Okay. I just have to kind of figure out what happened to it.
Turns out the woman's boyfriend works at the local prison.
All right, well, I'll go up there and try to catch him at work, and if not, I'll be back, so.
All right, I'll try to give him a call.
Okay, okay. Thanks. So, pretty big sportsman. His whole house has mounts inside.
The warden thinks the woman might not be telling her the truth. Kuka wants to talk to the boyfriend.
They're both corrections officers at the prison, so we'll go to the prison and bug him.
But before the warden leaves the neighborhood, the girlfriend calls the warden back.
Okay, so you're a corrections officer.
Correct.
And I'm a peace officer.
Yes.
And you know what game we're playing, right?
I know what's going on.
Honesty is gonna get you so much further. But it looks suspicious to me when you don't know anything and now you just told me a story, okay?
I know.
Okay, this is my side.
Yes.
And then I don't think you wanna tell me whose it is.
Up in Montana's Region 4, Warden Brian Goley responds to a tip. A trucker reports multiple dead deer in a ditch.
Yeah, the legs are all broke.
Goley counts 7 deer. His investigation ends as quickly as it starts.
Yeah, let's roll. Hot tip, turns out to be the highway department dump site for roadkill. It's a good spot, it's just, you know, when the snow and stuff goes away, people can see it, and I think that's gonna generate some calls.
The warden heads back out on regular patrol.
What the?
I caught this guy trying to go through this gate.
Yeah.
Did you stop him?
I had my bolt cutters out.
He runs into fellow warden Dave Holland. He and a couple of locals keep an eye on the local herd of elk.
That's how.
Yeah, they're gonna
Across
go.
the highway down here.
There's no way you'll stop them. They'll go tonight.
Sergeant Holland's phone rings.
They shot a buck up there.
Huge.
A landowner calls to report witnessing a hunter shooting and killing a deer on his property.
We just came through there when we gassed up, or we're gonna gas up. We went around the back way, come down that to the bridge, and there was a monster
That's the one that was shot.
whitetail buck there. If it's the buck I'm thinking, man, it was a pig. It was not hurt when we saw it.
The wardens head to the kill site.
I'll turn around down here. Did you see a guy out there working on wood?
Yeah, it did. I'll just run up there real quick.
I'm gonna check Lowry Bridge here and see if the vehicle's down here.
The wardens find the landowner.
There's where he was sitting. Whoa! Are these his tracks? Well, he drove right out here. He was sitting right here. Well, look at that, there's blood right there.
Near Shelby, Montana, Warden Quinn Kuka investigates a case involving a small buck trashed in a dumpster. The warden speaks with the suspect's girlfriend, who's been hesitant to reveal information.
So whose deer is it?
That's what I said, it was his buddies.
Yeah, who?
She doesn't want to give the warden a name.
It looks suspicious to me when you don't know anything and now you just told me a story, okay?
I know.
Okay, this is my side.
Yes.
And then I don't think you want to tell me whose it is. Remember, he got you in this spot. You're not getting him in trouble. He did this.
No, it's okay.
The woman eventually gives Warden Kuka the name of a guard that works with her boyfriend at the local prison.
I'll go up there and I'll talk to the captain, so. Thank you very much. Okay.
The warden heads toward the prison to interview both men.
I'm like the all Region 4 game warden. I've been in everybody's district. Like, I don't have one of my own, I just do it.
As Warden Kuka gets to the prison, she notices a deer in the back of a red truck. As she runs the plate, she notices a guard. Turns out, it's the woman's boyfriend. On prison grounds, our cameras are not allowed to identify guards, so the warden talks to the man off camera.
You can't just kill a deer and throw it in the dumpster. It's a waste of game.
It hung in my garage.
It's a bigger violation, so we're trying to resolve the issue before it gets bigger, but.
Okay.
So whose deer is it?
It's my deer.
The guard admits he killed and dumped the small buck.
Buddy, we got some issues. What time do you get off work?
What did I do wrong?
Well, first of all, allegedly you have 2 deer. You have a big one, a nice one hanging in your friend's garage right now.
I don't have any hanging in any garage.
So here's an opportunity to tell me the truth, because I'm not running around in
You don't need
circles.
to run.
The warden wants to know if her suspect also shot a second deer. The guard claims the deer in the red truck is his father's.
This big one is my dad's, and it's got his tag on it.
This case gets complicated. Near Augusta, Montana,
It looks pretty cold.
Warden Brian Goley investigates a dead deer call.
Whoa! Are these his tracks? Well, he drove right out here. He was sitting right here. Look at that, there's blood right there.
A landowner called wardens to report a shooting and killing of an already wounded white-tailed buck.
He's got different tire tread on one of them. Heck, he was way out here.
Now Warden Goley wants to find the hunter and the deer. Warden Dave Holland also works the case.
Okay.
He said it was wounded. One antler shot off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The wardens find the deer.
So he thought it was wounded because the antler was shot off,
Yeah,
huh?
that's why he thought it was wounded. Took care of it.
Yeah, I only see one shot though there, Dave.
Yeah, it was
The wardens recover the animal and head to the shooter's home.
Here, I'll get this side. All this, there's a deer hanging right there, it looked like. This just looks like somebody we should know, doesn't it? I'm Game Warden Brian Goley.
Brian Goley.
Nice to meet you. What's your name? How you doing? Brian Goley. So you two were out hunting today, is that the deal?
Well, I was more of the game getter.
Okay, well, we have to come talk to you on your own property. You're not under arrest or anything, but we did have a complaint that we need to talk about. And you're aware of that, obviously. You're not hiding a thing from us.
No, you were very honest on the phone with me.
And I do appreciate that. So,
After a quick interview, wardens discover the hunter had lost his way. The man shot the buck across the property line where he had permission to hunt.
I'm pretty sure that shot in the rear end happened when that deer was laying down.
Well, he said he shot 3 times.
That deer was not wounded before that.
No. Well, he claimed he was interpreting the broken antler as being wounded.
Right, that's right. What was wrong in the tires? The front tires are the difference. The back, but we were right.
The wardens confiscate the deer and slap the hunter with a $135 fine. The hunter readily admits his mistake.
All right, thank
You
you.
be safe, okay?
Okay.
Take it easy. Next time we see you, be in a good circumstance.
Good circumstance.
All right.
All right, Steve, thanks. We'll see you.
Your basic run-of-the-mill situation where somebody saw a deer, took a chance, and got caught by the landowner. And the landowner's hired hand seen him, said you don't have permission. And the one thing good about it, the guy made a mistake, but he totally took responsibility.
I'll be
And
clear, 1 citation.
that's always the best thing, best scenario in my opinion.
Sometimes
I kind of want him.
a warden's job stinks. Region 4 Warden Quinn Kuka stops to clear roadkill while on an unrelated call.
They kind of smell like garlic. What'd you think of his face? Do I smell like him? I'm gonna skid him out. He's not bad. He's not in bad shape.
Earlier in the day, the warden discovered a small buck trashed in a dumpster. A guard at the local prison admitted the deer was his. However, there is now a second deer in question.
So I go back to the girlfriend's house and I just want to clarify whose deer belongs with who. If his father came to town, did he actually harvest this buck? And the girlfriend, she tells me there's 2 deer in the back of the truck. She witnesses that. She says one is her boyfriend's and one is his dad. Well, he had already harvested one with his friends opening day that all the correction officers went on this hunt. So now I'm thinking there's 2 deer. So she tells me there's a corrections officer that's not on duty. He lives in town, and that's where I'm headed next, is to interview him and see if he had anything to do with this second deer. I'm Montana State Game Warden Quinn Kuka. I'm here to just take a peek of deer, the license on it, real quick.
A peek of deer license. I don't have license or a deer.
Did you at one point?
No.
Do you have a deer here?
I have a deer head.
Whose is it?
Mine.
Okay, can I take a peek at it?
Yeah, from the back of the truck.
And so there's no other deer on
No, you guys can.
I can take a peek?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the reason why I'm here is because everybody told me that deer would be here, and I was hoping I could just take a peek at the license. Do you know where his deer is at?
It was hanging in his house, in his garage.
How big of a deer did he harvest?
Small one. It was like a 3x2, 3x3, something like that.
Okay, and then when you went hunting with him and his dad, I believe?
I didn't go with him and his dad, no.
Their stories are lining up, but Warden Kuka is still not convinced.
I'm not coming across accusing you.
Okay.
You're supposed to be my witness, so I'm hoping that you saw something. So I'm asking you what questions that they kind of told me, and so these are like the reason.
Oh, you're fine, and I'm not sticking up for anybody, and I love what you guys do. If his deer was a small deer and his dad got a big one, now if his dad gave his deer or something like that, I don't know.
Okay. I'm not trying to come across accusatory to you. I'm trying to ask questions because this is what they told me, because I've talked to every one of them so far.
I'm not trying to be mean. Like, what started all this? Was it deer or something?
Yeah.
Which?
So which one?
In Montana's Region 4, State Game Warden Quinn Kuka tries to get to the bottom of a potential over-harvest case.
What started all this? Was it deer or something?
Yeah.
Which?
So which one?
Yeah,
which one?
Like what? Like, yeah, because you're saying that he has 2 deer,
He
right?
does have 2 deer.
So which one are you talking about? His dad
both.
got a deer.
I'm talking about both, the big one and the small one.
Okay, the only one that I know that got was a small one. I know he told me his dad and him went out hunting, and his dad got a bigger one.
Okay.
The warden interviews a man who hunted with her suspect. He seems to avoid the warden's questions.
Where on earth do you think his second deer is at?
I don't know. Maybe his dad.
Earlier in the day, the warden discovered a small white-tailed buck trashed in a dumpster. Kuka's investigation led to the local prison, where a guard confessed to dumping the small buck. The warden suspects the guard may have shot a second larger deer, but no one seems willing to tell the warden where that carcass hides.
You guys are all hunting fools, you live, breathe, and hunting, and you never sent a text message of each other's bucks.
Not of that one, no.
Which ones do you have?
Just mine? That I don't have his deers. No, we're not even Facebook friends. I don't. I'm not lying to you.
I'm not laughing at that.
Well, none of these deer are really that big to me. Even that one I call a small one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Montana. When you get a big deer,
right,
then you can brag about it.
Right.
But I mean, the one that he got, I doubt he even took a picture of that one because it was so small. It was like a 3x3. But I told him, I was like, hey man, that's good eating.
But you know he killed 2 deer.
No, I know he killed 1 deer, and he told me his dad got another one. Now you're making me sound like I need to go over there and like kick his ass or something because somebody's lying to me.
After a long investigation, the warden decides the suspect only shot 1 deer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes.
And I'm sorry for raising my voice at you.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I guess we spent a few hours in Shelby and we came to the conclusion that there's a waste of game. I recovered the tag. The tag is pretty clean, no blood on it or anything like that. So for sure he's gonna get it for waste because he left it on the floor of his garage and it rotted and he never butchered it and then he just decides to put it in the dumpster. So that's where it stands right now.
Time to call it a night. But on the way home, a potentially dangerous situation.
You need to get back in the vehicle and stay right there. God, that was amazing. That is amazing. I just pulled over a van going off in the ditch off-road and got back on the interstate. When I flicked my blue and red lights on, they switched drivers.
The warden calls for police and then cautiously approaches the van.
Hey, you guys, do you have your driver's license and registration? And originally, you were the driver.
Well,
you swapped.
Yeah, well, what happened was back here about 3 miles back, I had a headache.
Okay.
So I let him drive. It's my son. And he just drove up to here. And
Okay, that's not what I saw, but you can tell the trooper that when he comes by, okay? I need you to all sit in here. How many people are in the vehicle? 2 males and 1 female?
Yeah.
Any firearms or any knives? No guns?
The driver said he had a headache and let his underage son drive. Warden Kuka decides to wait for local police.
Okay, just hang tight and I'll be right with you, but don't get out of the vehicle, okay, you guys? I'll be right back. Did you happen to have a trooper out this way?
No.
So you just will
He's just
5-3, go ahead.
he's just a 16-year-old.
yeah, kind of scared.
And they don't get their license till they're 18.
Okay. And then you just switch drivers because you don't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Most oftentimes the reason why we're stopping is that that's suspicious for alcohol and stuff.
No,
okay.
there's no alcohol. I've got a bottle tequila here for my wife for Christmas. But
Okay. Not opened or anything like that. Okay. All right. Hang tight, guys. It'll be just another second. Okay.
Police will take over this traffic stop. Warden Kuka can finally call it a night. Montana, big sky country. Protecting this rugged wilderness is a brave group of men and women. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of the last best place.
We just turned around, had a truck go by me. It's 9th of November, and this guy's got a Christmas tree in the back. Thought I saw some orange, I'm not sure, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense. We're gonna stop it.
State Game Warden John Lasovsky makes a stop near White Sulphur Springs.
You guys are cutting trees off early. Can I look in the back of the truck?
You can.
Can I? Yeah. Here, let me get up there. Anytime you're putting something underneath Christmas trees this early, that there's a problem.
Hunting season is in full swing, and Montana Game Warden Rick Schmock is up before the sun.
Every year we get the occasional person that decides to shoot a mule deer buck down here in this trophy unit without a permit.
The warden tags hunting property with extra signs.
This is kind of the initial heads-up warning, and then if we have any problems, we can always come back and say, you know, it's properly signed.
Campsites fill up around the area. The warden keeps an eye on the crowd.
This is a piece of private ground with block management. There's no driving on. And then there's a state section that there's signs right up here by the corrals where they drove in at that say road closed. So I'm just figuring out what they're doing here.
Smock spots a truck in an area off limits.
Good, how are you? Yeah, did you guys see there's a sign here, a big sign that says road closed?
No, we didn't see that.
Okay, yeah.
We did run out of road though, so
Yeah.
I was actually aiming for down there.
Okay, all right. Well, just to give you a heads up, that could be a pretty significant citation.
Okay.
I mean, we put a lot of effort into signing these roads, and this piece of private down that you just drove through, if they close down, there's no more hunting because of that.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna make a huge issue of it now, but just be mindful of it if you would. Appreciate it. So.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, thank you.
Wardens help mark areas off limits to hunters. Seems the extra signs don't always work.
What's going on?
Well, there's 4 people over here at the gravel pile.
Okay.
They parked right here by the gate that says area behind this sign closed to hunting.
Right.
And they walked back in there and shot an antelope.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if they had talked with you guys, or if they had permission, or if you knew anything about it, or how you wanted to proceed with that.
Schmock calls the landowner to check on 4 hunters tucked back on private property.
I believe it would have been day before yesterday, maybe. It was one day this year recently.
How's it going?
Fat and out of shape.
Fat and out of shape? Did you get one?
I did, yeah.
Good deal. Buck or doe? Or?
Buck.
Oh yeah, nice little buck. Perfect.
Then I got my tag right here. I didn't put it on him because I didn't have tape, but I got it cut out for you.
I'll take a look at it. Yeah. Where did you get this at? Just right off that corner?
We got him out the back. You know, we seen him along the interstate there, and then we seen a bunch back over here, so I pulled in and I talked to Wes down here.
Okay.
Riverbend, and he said, it's not block management, but yeah, I'll let you go in there.
Okay.
Just please sign in at the box at the gates.
Okay. Well, that's a big thing. Just make sure you guys signed in, and I know they don't allow a whole lot of hunting over here, so I called Jody, and she said she hadn't given any permission. It's just one of those things. I mean, you guys are close by, so I'm not in the business of making things bigger than what they are.
Meanwhile, Warden Nick Taylor patrols Region 5. Plenty of hunters are out on this weekend.
Look at that. Blood coming out tailgate. Didn't even notice it. It's like my first day all over again. Not a bad buck. He's awful bloody.
I double lunged him.
The warden asked to see paperwork.
Did you go by Robert or Bob?
Rob.
Rob, do you have your conservation license with you?
But this hunter's paperwork seems to be amiss.
Okay. And did you get on the colony or the state section?
State section.
Get on the state section? So one thing, do you have an updated block management sign-in slip? Because this one's only good for October 11th.
Well, she didn't date it for the days that come out here, so it was good for the whole season.
Nope, it doesn't work that way. It's good for 3 days. I need to see where you guys did kill it. Okay? Do you understand?
Well, we were chasing other antelope, so we actually didn't dress it out till we got past Shauna Road. So, I mean, I can show you. I mean, I had a tag and everything, of course.
Okay.
The men say they shot an antelope on state land, but dressed it elsewhere. The warden isn't so sure their story adds up.
You know, their story could be right. They could have gutted it there. But if, you know, we better see a gut pile right by the road. But if there's not a gut pile, we're gonna have a problem. You know, I'm thinking these guys shot this on the colony and they weren't signed in. They were signed in a month ago. Right now, there's 3 guys in this truck. And typically, you know, if I didn't have the cameraman with me, I would have had the shooter sitting right there with me and I'd be yakking with him all the way down there. Because what you don't want is you don't want 3 guys getting their story right, which is exactly what they're doing right now. They're talking because there's a problem. But they've kind of told me enough already that the ship's either gonna sink or it's gonna float.
In Montana's Region 5, Warden Nick Taylor follows hunters back to where they claim they dressed their antelope.
Very good. You just loaded it up whole and...
You know, down there on the state land where I shot it, and then it went through the fence, and then it died on the Hutterite place. And we loaded it up right away because the antelope were heading east.
So it died on the Hutterite place?
Well, it died on the Hutterite place, yeah. Okay. And I didn't want these guys to lose their opportunity.
And where did you tag it at?
I tagged it down there.
You tagged it down there? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Immediately beyond kill.
Right. Well, just take us down there, all right? He just told me the antelope's illegal. He said he shot it on the state section, and it ran off onto the Hutterite colony, which he was signed in a month ago. You gotta be signed in right now. And that's his story. I don't believe it. I think he shot on the Hutterite colony and just didn't sign in. It's a big buck for this area. I think he probably just got a little bit desperate. He's got excited, and he took advantage of an opportunity.
The men show the warden where they killed the big buck.
I see blood right here. Right there.
The hunter walks Taylor to the exact spot where the buck died.
Okay. And so where did you shoot from, Rob?
It was down there somewhere, over this way. They came this way, and this is where he died, and we drove up. You can see where we drove him through here.
Yep, I see that. And were you in the vehicle, Rob? Did you shoot from the vehicle?
I did not shoot from the vehicle.
Did you get it out of the? Did you get out?
I was out of the truck when I shot.
Okay. Did you shoot from the road?
I was just off the road.
Okay. Can you show me where you shot from? That looks like it'd be a pretty tough shot if they were just on the other side of the fence line there. Kneeling down here because you're in a depression. Right through there, huh? Okay. You weren't completely upfront with me about where the antelope was killed. When I asked where the antelope was harvested, you said the Hutterite colony.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it changed to the state section bordering the Hutterite colony. And then when we got out of the gut pile, it changed back to, I shot it on the state section. It ran on the hood colony and retrieved it. So I've had your story change a couple different times. That's why I don't have a lot of clarity. Do you understand why?
Well,
okay.
You know, my brother was talking there, and I questioned him when he was, you know, when we got in the truck, you know.
Okay.
And so, you know, what I just told you is how it happened.
Okay.
You know.
So there is an issue, okay? You weren't signed in for the hood colony and you retrieved an antelope off it. And so when I hear of an ungutted animal transported,
you need to look at
right away, I'm thinking there's some problems here, okay? I am gonna cite you for hunt without land permission, okay? Not the end of the world. Unfortunately, the antelope does come with me. When it's retrieved unlawfully, I gotta take it, okay? And I don't want you to break in the law, be in unlawful possession of a game animal, which is one of our top tier laws. And it sounds like you were driving the vehicle. You can't drive off-road, okay? And so I am gonna cite you for that, okay? Unfortunately, where I'm at is I feel like I got some of the truth here, but I do not feel like I got the whole truth, which is disappointing, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. We dealt with the issues that we could prove. We dealt with the issues that we had present in front of us. That one's done and over with. Go to the next one.
Back in Region 4, Warden John Lasovsky stops a suspicious truck just outside town.
You guys are cutting trees off early. Can I look in the back of the truck? You can. Can I? Yeah. Is it in there? Okay. Whose elk is it?
No, it's a deer.
It's a deer? Who's it?
Can I put a coat on?
Yeah, please do.
It's Jack deer.
Jack?
It's out of Great Falls.
Okay.
The warden finds a deer hidden under the trees.
So tell me one more time, John, is who?
Well, Jack is what we call him.
Is Jack? Okay.
He's good friends with my father.
Okay, and you guys are at Two Creeks?
Yeah, this is his brother.
All right, does he have any sort of way for me to talk to him at all? Phone number, anything like that? So how it usually works is if you're gonna transport his buck, you have some sort of slip that gives you permission to have it. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise what I got is a deer with just, you know, Jack's deer with you and Jack isn't around. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Okay.
The warden calls dispatch. He wants to contact the man who allegedly shot the deer.
What I'd like to know is if John got a 4-point whitetail buck today. Could you ask that question for me, please? Moreover, I'll be real interested to know if you get his dad on the phone at all. That would be a big plus. It's the 9th of November. Nobody cuts a Christmas tree that early. And he's got 2. He's covering that deer up. We need a crumb here, because I think we're right on the money, but we don't have no way to hold that deer.
Dispatch calls back.
495.
Go ahead.
There's nobody at that location.
Go ahead.
There's nobody at that location.
In Montana's Region 4, Warden John Lasovsky investigates a hunter with 2 Christmas trees in the back of his truck.
This deer isn't legal in my mind. We're gonna have a talk and see what we can come up with. It's the 9th of November, and you're cutting a Christmas tree. They're gonna be dead within 4 weeks. So what I'm saying is, do you know what that looks like for me?
Well,
I mean,
I'm not trying to break the law, sir.
The warden finds a small white-tailed buck hidden under the trees. The driver says he's transporting it for another hunter, but the warden doesn't buy the story.
I mean, honestly, if this was a deal where we're just trying to get him some meat, I get that. If this is a deal where you're taking it and you're gonna go do it and you're gonna fill another tag, your tag, I don't get that.
Sir, it's not meat for John.
Right.
It's meat for me, but he shot the deer.
Right. For me, I'm hoping you're shooting straight with me, because I don't feel good about this. I just don't. So it is what it is. Let's take it a little further. Let's roll down the road here, and then we'll take it from there.
Warden Lasovsky is still waiting to see if contacts can be made with the hunter who allegedly shot the buck.
Boy, he's minding his P's and Q's, isn't he?
Dispatch calls back.
Be advised, I have that individual on a landline, and he said he got a 3-point butt thinks about noon in area 446.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think that kind of settles it.
Turns out the driver's story might be true.
1523.
That basically is the guy that's got the deer tag that is on that buck, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't a phone call made before I could get to him. So I'm stuck. It just is what it is. So we talked to this guy, and we're good, okay? So we're caught good. You see where it was at with me.
I'm fine with
I know, but you understand. I mean, it was just a big, flag for us. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Enjoy your trees. And if you can, next time have a transport slip and we'll be all good.
I'll do that.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it is what it is. We got her squared up and I appreciate you taking the time.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you.
In Montana's Region 3, Warden Rick Schmock hits the road during antelope season.
Game warden's pulling up. And they're all like, what? How are ya? Good. Trying to knock an antelope down, or?
Yeah, he's got an antelope B tag, doe tag.
These hunters just shot an antelope on private land they have permission to hunt.
You already shot it? Put a hole in it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
On this side, yeah.
Problem is, the wounded animal jumped a fence to another piece of private property. The men do not have permission to access that land.
I ran into this group during archery season and had complaints on them for hunting from the road. I ended up making a stop on them and giving them the, you guys need to clean it up, make it work type deal. Same group, got to kill an antelope. Got permission from the landowner to be in there and pursue these antelope. Apparently took 1 or 2 shots and they thought they hit her twice, doe antelope. You know, now she's crossed the fence from one piece of property that they had permission to be on onto another that typically doesn't allow much for access. So we're trying to make arrangements here to get a hold of that landowner, see if we can get these guys in there to finish off this antelope so it doesn't go to waste or suffer or anything like that.
Back up in Region 4, Warden John Lisowski patrols a local campsite. He discovers a strange-looking tarp and decides to investigate.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Inside, an antelope doe without a proper harvest tag.
It's on the inside, huh?
The man who shot the animal shows up in camp.
How are you? Are you wet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized I didn't put my tag on when we pulled it out of the river.
Yeah. Let's take a peek.
The paperwork checks out, but the hunter did not properly tag his harvest.
This needs to be on the animal.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry.
You kind of understand where we're at with this, what this does for me. It's a pretty big flag.
Yeah.
The warden tickets this hunter for failure to properly tag his animal.
You're a good man. All right. Well, I appreciate you being cordial about it. And
Yeah, thanks for the wake-up call.
Because the doe appears to be wet and unfit for consumption, Lisowski decided to not confiscate the carcass.
they drug it across the river to try to get it out and had drug it for quite a ways, and it really didn't look like it was fit for consumption with the food bank. So I ended up seizing the animal and receding it back to him. So he got to keep his antelope, but I think he gets it.
Over in Region 3, Warden Rick Schmock tries to help hunters who shot and wounded an antelope. It jumped a fence to private property where the men do not have permission to hunt.
So we're trying to make arrangements here to get a hold of that landowner.
The warden spends the afternoon trying to track down the landowner.
I'm not going to stand there and debate it with them. You know, it becomes a private property right, which has been tested and proven through not only Montana Supreme Court, but United States Supreme Court. I mean, it's a basis for the Constitution. And so they're trying to put the blame on the landowner that doesn't allow access, that, you know, basically saying it's BS that people can't go retrieve an animal that was shot and went over onto that property. Well, you know what? There again is an example of the accountability. I mean, it's something they've got to consider, putting themselves in those kind of positions. You know, and they're not thinking that far ahead. What if something happens, you know?
After repeated attempts, he fails to obtain permission to access the land.
Well, we tried. You guys tried, I tried. I mean, what else nobody's there.
Yeah, well, she actually trotted off over the hill.
Okay, well, good.
You know.
Well, you know, I mean,
feel good about it.
I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you don't. I mean, I was telling him, maybe it's sadistic, but I'm glad to see it. I am. That tells me a lot about your character and a lot about how your dad raised you. You know, and that's what it should be about, guys. This, not this. You know, I mean, it should be about this.
I really appreciate it.
Nope. It is what it is. Nope, it is what it is, guys. Thanks for sticking around and trying to do what you could. And if you guys need anything else, you've got my card. If something goes on out there that I need to know about, I'd greatly appreciate a call. So I wish you guys the best of your hunt.